Good morning, everyone, and welcome to A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. We are so excited today to have a special guest with us from the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Her name is Jessica McLeod, and she's our acting homeless program coordinator for the OKC Veterans Affairs Medical Center. So let me bring her on here. Hi, Jessica. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
So glad to have you, and thank you for being our guest today on A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. Our whole purpose in coming together is to express and share some of the information about homelessness and how the services and programs that are addressing homelessness in our community, and this wonderful network of collaboration that we have that's pretty unique to Oklahoma as compared to other states and cities in the country. So just let's dive in. We have a short time here to share this information with everyone. And so could you give us a brief overview of the mission of the Veterans Affairs Homeless Program and its services and how many clients you serve, and just give us an overview of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and thank you for having me too. I'm excited to be here. So the VA here in Oklahoma City, we have national goals that are set for us every year. So annually we receive our national goals, and that's what we try to uphold. We're still getting our 2023 goals released to us, but they're very similar to 2022 goals. The only difference between last year's goals and this year are going to be, we're going to put more of a focus on our older population of veterans and really try to get them connected and supported, because our numbers have definitely increased with our geriatric veterans and specifically our homeless veterans. Since 2010, we've seen a 55% decline with veteran homelessness. And then last year, our goal was to permanently house 38,000 veterans. And so we nationally, we met that goal, and we exceeded that goal by 6%. We had over 40,000 homeless veterans who were permanently housed. In order to sustain that and keep doing better and keep serving those homeless veterans, we have a lot of great programs that we're able to offer and support our homeless veterans. We have the HCHV, which is our Housing Healthcare Street Outreach Team. And their purpose is to find our veterans in our community. So they are going to shelters, they are going to meal sites, they are going anywhere and everywhere to find our veterans and identify them, and then provide support and provide access to healthcare, housing programs, anything and everything they need. And from there, we also have a 14 beds for emergency housing. And so our homeless veterans that they're able to identify can get that emergency housing. There's 3 of those beds that are specifically designated for women. So we really try to keep everybody to have access, but we do have those for delegated for our female veterans. We also have our HUD-VASH program, which is our housing program that we work with Section 8 vouchers and case management. Right now, we have 348 veterans who are housed with those vouchers. That doesn't count I think there's almost another 100 of those who are being screened right now or have completed the screening, have the voucher, maybe they're going on their searches. So we have the number that I got just yesterday evening was 460. So we have 460 veterans that we are keeping out of homelessness and really trying to support them and wrap around with services.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and it's only going to increase too as the year continues. So that's really great. We also have our grant per diem program, which is another housing program that the VA offers. And that is a 15-bed program that is more specific to our homeless veterans who have a psychiatric diagnosis and or a substance abuse diagnosis. So that is a lot more treatment focused to not only help with housing, but then to also help sustain them with different treatment services, medications, that piece of it.
Yeah. Well, that is great. And,
Mhm.
and so, what is your parameters as far as geography where you serve?
That is a really good question. So, right, our homeless program serves for a lot, most of Oklahoma. It's the Muskogee and the Tulsa area are going to be on the far east side, and then we are all the way down to Wichita Falls, which is Texas. So we serve all that whole area,
Mhm.
pretty much the central all the way to the west side.
Wow, that's a large area to cover.
It
Well,
is.
we are always so grateful for the work and the collaboration together. So, besides Upward Transitions, what are some of the other community agencies with whom you work in your process of serving the veterans?
So we there are quite a few because we could not do it without our community partners.
Mhm.
We have great programs, but they're only great because of our relationships and collaboration with outside entities. But we work a lot with Upward Transitions. We work a lot with SSVF. That's another one that is a really strong partner with us. Palomar is also another partner that we work with, and a lot of our shelters, Diversion Hub, Team, our community food banks. There's also local churches who provide support. There's a lot, and we do weekly meetings. Our housing team does weekly meetings with those agencies to see if there's any gaps or see how we can best support each individual veteran.
That is awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're very proud of the collaboration that occurs too within our community. And in serving your clients or the veterans, what are you seeing as some of the most prevalent contributing factors to homelessness for the veterans? What's happening there?
Um, I think I think there's several. I don't think it's just one factor, but I think a lot of it is going to be we're seeing a lot of mental health.
Mhm.
That's a big one. Substance abuse is another one, and then just the economy and the loss of jobs. I mean, I feel like we're literally like any of us could be one step away from homelessness. I mean, it could be as simple as I lost my job, and then it just feels like everything else just kind of starts falling apart as well. So
Mhm.
definitely the mental health and the substance abuse are big, but also just the economy, lack of support, and employment.
Yeah. Upward Transitions has also experienced an uptick in people requesting assistance because of the fact inflation and job loss and everything that's contributing as far as the economy. Like you said, it's really affecting
Absolutely.
those who are just teetering on the edge of homelessness. The economy right now is really impacting that population. And
Absolutely.
so our job is to step in and try to prevent, that spiral or that downward spiral of going into homelessness and landing on the streets. Um, so do you have any type of a story or anything, an example of how the Veterans Affairs and Upward Transitions work together to support the clients that you serve?
Absolutely. And it was difficult to pick just one because there are so many. But I would say the one that stuck out to me was, and maybe all the stars aligned as well, but we had a veteran who um, was in Oklahoma County Detention Center. He'd gotten himself into some trouble. And a lot of times they don't identify themselves as veterans when they're there
Mhm.
for whatever reason. So we were able to make contact with him, identified that yes, he was a veteran. Yes, he's eligible for services. Work with the court system and getting him released. He directly came from the detention center to our VA, where our emergency housing outreach team scooped him up and got him placed for a few days. And then we got him engaged in treatment services. We just kind of wrapped around with, he hadn't been to the doctor in so many years. He had been living on the streets for 10. He was content. He was fine there until he wasn't. And so we just really tried to do wraparound services with him, and then got him into one of our housing programs and worked with upward transitions. He had no ID. He had nothing. And so starting from nothing, we really had to piece together with our community partners and trying to get him the ID, their discharge papers from from military service, and just really working with everybody. And he is now sober, has been for over 2 years, has permanent housing, full-time employment, still engaged with treatment. I mean, like, he is amazing. And so he's amazing because I feel like we all came together to really support him, help him get what he needed, and we're not going anywhere. Like, we're still here. So if something ever, is needed, or whatever he might find himself needing, we're always here. And so we're the community partners. So.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of case management too, is that that's the piece that you have to have, because there's so many factors contributing to their homelessness, and it's a complex issue. So the case management piece really does help to ensure that they receive the services that they need, and that ongoing checking in. Are you doing okay? Are you still housed? Are you still employed? And it really is an important part to that prevention piece too, as far as keeping them stable. So, yeah, and the veterans that come to us for IDs, we are so honored to help these clients in anything that we can do. Our mutual clients, we enjoy really seeing the reward of them succeeding and getting themselves settled and stable. And that's what it's all about, is helping them on a sustainable future and helping them on their journey. So, well, Jessica, it's about time to end our podcast. And I just wanted to tell you again, thank you so much for being here today. And we so appreciate everything that Veterans Affairs does in our community. We need to take care of our veterans and look out for them. And it takes all of us working together to do that. So thanks again for being here. And we will wave goodbye to everybody and say, see you next week. Thanks so much.
Thank you.